This guy was trying to build the world's largest prediction market while Beirut was collapsing around him. During one of Lebanon's darkest periods, marked by economic breakdown and the aftermath of the devastating port explosion, he was writing code at night and helping clear rubble by day. There was no product, no revenue, and no certainty the company he was building would survive. Meet Tarek Mansour, who became the youngest self-made billionaire in Lebanon and the Middle East, and the co-founder and CEO of Kalshi, the first federally regulated prediction market in the United States. Mansour was born in California while his parents were working abroad, but he was raised in Lebanon, far removed from Silicon Valley venture capital or reliable access to technology. Growing up, the internet was slow, inconsistent, and often unavailable. Computers were shared, fragile, and unreliable. Tech was not an industry you imagined yourself entering. It was something distant, abstract, almost accidental. His early exposure to instability shaped a resilient mindset as Lebanon grappled with frequent power outages, political turmoil, and economic hardships that made even basic digital tools a luxury. He attended college Louis Wegman in Beirut, where he excelled despite the challenges, building a foundation in math and self-directed learning that would later define his path. During the 2006 war in Lebanon, daily life collapsed. Schools closed, infrastructure was destroyed, more than 1,300 Lebanese civilians were killed, and nearly 1 million people were displaced. In the middle of that instability, Mansour taught himself English from scratch. There was no clear roadmap, just the belief that language might unlock a way out. This self-taught determination extended to coding and mathematics, skills he honed amid blackouts and uncertainty, often using borrowed devices or limited online resources when available. He was a member of elite honor societies at MIT later, but those roots in adversity taught him persistence above all. That belief carried him to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where he studied computer science and mathematics, graduating in 2018 with bachelor's degrees in both and a master's in engineering in 2019. MIT was not just an academic shift. It was exposure to a way of thinking that treated broken systems as fixable rather than inevitable. At MIT, he immersed himself in algorithms, statistical theory, and machine learning, participating in research that bridged technology and real-world problem-solving. He joined Tau Beta Pi, Eta Kappa Nu, and Delta Tau Delta fraternity, forging connections in a rigorous environment. At MIT, Mansour met Luana Lopes Lara, a Brazilian student whose background was as intense as it was unconventional. Born in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, to a math teacher mother and an engineer father, Lopes Lara grew up excelling in academics and national math and astronomy Olympiads. Before MIT, Lopes Lara trained in elite ballet programs where discipline bordered on brutality. At the Bolshoi Theater School in Brazil, she endured grueling schedules, classes from early morning, followed by hours of ballet training into the night, with intense competition where only one spot was available among 97 aspiring dancers. She performed professionally in Austria for 9 months after high school, dancing in productions like Swan Lake at Salzburger Landestheater, before pivoting away from ballet at age 18 to pursue greater intellectual challenges. Persistence was not optional, it was survival. At MIT, she majored in computer science and mathematics, worked as a researcher at the Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, CSAIL, on AI projects before the field exploded in popularity, and brought the same intensity to her studies. Mansour and Lopes Lara gravitated toward each other not because they wanted to build convenience apps, but because they were drawn to hard, foundational problems. Both shared international roots, Mansour with ties to Lebanon and possibly Algerian heritage through family, and a drive to tackle inefficiencies in global systems. In 2018, both were interning at Five Rings Capital in New York. Mansour had previously interned at Citadel as a macro trader and had also interviewed at Jane Street, where he was interviewed by a then-unknown trader named Sam Bankman-Fried. Lopes Lara had summer internships at Bridgewater Associates under Ray Dalio, Citadel, and Five Rings, gaining deep insights into quantitative trading and market dynamics. Every day at Five Rings, Mansour and Lopes Lara watched traders talk about the future in terms of outcomes: elections, inflation prints, interest rate decisions, and market policy shifts, weather events. But when it came time to trade those views, the markets forced them into indirect instruments and inefficient proxies. Stocks, options, and derivatives were being used to express beliefs about events they were never designed to track directly. Walking back from their internship apartments one night, the disconnect became obvious. If traders think in outcomes, why isn't the outcome itself tradable? That question became the foundation of Kalshi, named after the Arabic word for everything, reflecting their vision to create markets for any real-world event. With the conviction that markets should allow people to trade directly on real-world events, Mansour and Lopes Lara applied to Y Combinator and were accepted into the Winter 2019 batch. The milestone gave Kalshi early credibility, but it also exposed the founders to a far harder reality. Prediction markets existed in theory, but the legal framework around them was murky. To operate legitimately, Kalshi would need approval from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. When the founders began seeking legal help, more than 40 law firms turned them away. The founders were too young. The company was too small. The regulatory risk was too high. They persisted, eventually finding one former CFTC lawyer willing to take on the challenge. Still, they pressed forward. Kalshi was founded with a single, non-negotiable principle: compliance first. Everything inside the law, even if that meant years without a product. For nearly 2 years, nothing launched, no revenue, no traction, no certainty the company would survive. During the pandemic, Lopes Lara worked from London while Mansour returned to Beirut. In August 2020, he was there when the port explosion tore through the city, killing more than 200 people and devastating entire neighborhoods. By day, Mansour helped clear debris and search for survivors. By night, he continued working on Kalshi. Later that year, Kalshi received approval from the CFTC, becoming the first federally regulated exchange specifically designed for event contracts in 2020. The decision set Kalshi apart from competitors like Polymarket, which operated without U.S. regulatory approval and was later fined by the CFTC. But the regulatory fight didn't end there. In 2023, the CFTC blocked Kalshi's election contracts, arguing they resembled gambling. Rather than retreat, Mansour and Lopes Lara sued their own regulator, a bold move most investors advised against. Lopes Lara was instrumental in pushing for the lawsuit, viewing it as non-negotiable to protect the platform's future. They won. In September 2024, a U.S. District Court ruled in Kalshi's favor, clearing the way for the first legal election contracts in the United States in over a century. Users went on to trade more than $500 million on the election outcome, accurately predicting the result. Trading volume exploded, reaching $1.4 billion in 2 weeks during the election, with Kalshi becoming the #1 finance app on election night. By 2025, Kalshi's growth accelerated dramatically. In June, it raised $185 million in a Series C round at a $2 billion valuation, led by Paradigm. By October, volume hit $50 billion annualized, capturing 62% global market share, with international expansion opening access in over 140 countries. In December, Kalshi raised $1 billion in a Series E round at an $11 billion valuation, its third major round of the year, backed by major investors including Sequoia Capital, Andreessen Horowitz, Paradigm, Meritech Capital, IVP, ARK Invest, Anthos Capital, Capital G, and Y Combinator. Trading volume surged, exceeding $1 billion per week and climbing over 1,000% from 2024 levels, driven by more than 3,500 active markets. Sports betting, particularly NFL and college football, dominated much of the activity, often over 75 to 90% in peak months, alongside elections, weather, economic indicators, entertainment, and cultural events. Kalshi integrated with platforms like Robinhood, Webull, and Google Finance, partnered with the NHL for sports contracts, and in late 2025 signed major media deals with CNN and CNBC to serve as their official prediction markets partner, positioning Kalshi's odds as real-time sentiment indicators for news coverage. That valuation made Tarek Mansour the youngest self-made billionaire in Lebanon in the Middle East, and Luana Lopes Lara the youngest self-made woman billionaire in the world at age 29, with each holding stakes estimated at around $1.3 billion. From one unreliable computer to a federally regulated financial exchange, This journey was never about shortcuts. It involved years of regulatory battles, proving prediction markets were not gambling, but a tool for pricing information efficiently, distilling collective wisdom into accurate probabilities that often outperform polls and pundits. This wasn't just a startup story. It was the creation of an entirely new financial market, turning attention, opinions, and probabilities into a mainstream asset class that reshaped how people engage with news, politics, sports, and the future itself.